30th of June 2020. Save the date. It appears a new Parrot drone is on the horizon.
Geeksvana is your drone channel.
Hey everyone, my name is Sean and welcome to Geeksvana. In today's video we're going to be looking at the upcoming press event scheduled by French drone maker Parrot for the 30th of June and discussing the new drone being launched and asking who the drone will be aimed at. So stay tuned for all the details. First of all, let's take a look at Parrot and some of the drones they've released up to this point. This will help us understand the new product which was being launched. Personally, I've always enjoyed using Parrot drones. My first drone, full stop, was the first version of the Bebop drone, with of course the huge controller. Although it was a fairly basic, almost toy grade drone, the Bebop was a loyal little aircraft which I got many hours of enjoyment from, whilst learning so much about flying and filming with a drone. Parrot also went through a stage of releasing a raft of toy-like products. The Mambo range was adapted into many air and ground-based versions, aimed at indoor use and engagement of younger audiences. Other novel models included the Swing, which had the capability to switch from a quadcopter to a plane. Parrot would always concentrate on keeping weight down by including a lot of foam-like materials in some models. Unfortunately, this meant as fun as the Swing was, even the lightest breeze would have sent it off on a random flight path. This innovation in the toy market resulted in the Parrot hydrofoil drone. Now with this you would actually attach a special model of the Mambo to the hydrofoil, which would then allow it to push it across the water. This was another toy concept which was much more successful in theory rather than in practice, with the boat itself being very light and subject to course issues. Meanwhile, in the small quadcopter market, we have had the Bebop 2, which was my favourite drone for a good chunk of time, with flight planning software and a steady, assured flight. One thing which always held the drone back was the availability of other 4K drones in the consumer market, meaning the Bebop 2 with its 1080p camera was never going to set many records in terms of sales. Then step forward the Parrot Anafi. This quickly became one of the favourite drones of mine to fly. It has a great list of specifications and offered what I felt was great value for money for a 4K quadcopter. In particular, I am a fan of the flight characteristics. It flies in a very different way to my DJI drones, with a much more twitchy and instant response to controller input. Specs such as the ability to point the camera up 90 degrees, as well as the zoom function on the camera, made it a fun little drone with a decent capability. Behind the scenes at the company itself, major restructuring and downsizing had already been occurring, with the drone company struggling to compete in terms of numbers with others in the drone market. Later in 2020, despite a lot of positive press about the Anafi drone, Parrot announced further job losses off the back of a quarter sales dropping by 40% year on year. In 2019, it was announced that Parrot would be moving away from the toy-grade drone market, telling The Verge, Parrot has stopped production and development of any drone but the Anafi and its variations. This was another stage in Parrot's shift away from trying to compete with the likes of DJI in the consumer market, towards looking at commercial grade drones and beyond. In fact, in 2017, Parrot announced in financial filings that it was to shift away from trying to compete with DJI in the consumer drone market. Since then, Parrot has gained a contract to provide short-range reconnaissance drones to the United States Department of Defense. They're due to unveil their final model to the US government in July 2020. This of course leads nicely into the press releases issued by Parrot with regards to their drone launch coming on June 30th. The launch appears to suggest that Parrot will be releasing a publicly available version of the drone they have been developing for the US Defense Department. Articles published by Haye Kesteloo at DroneXL seem to suggest a version branded as Anafi AU or Anafi USA will be available to the drone buying public. Thanks to Haye for allowing us to show the pictures and video we have of the new drone, which you can see in this picture shows that although the general form factor of the new Anafi is similar to the one we have in our hands right now, it is clearly a very serious looking bit of kit. There is a link to the DroneXL articles in the description. By now we're all aware of the China bashing which occurred in the recent press briefings from Parrot. Their "don't trust Chinese drones" and "do you trust DJI drones" seem to many to be at the very least poorly conceived. What lays behind this though? Why are Parrot looking to bash their Chinese competitors in this way? Well, as Cecilia Haig, PR and communications lead for Parrot explains, the new drones will be manufactured within the United States. In successfully winning the DoD contract, Parrot committed to manufacturing the new government-grade drone within the US. The press briefings surrounding the release of the 30th of June suggest the consumer version of the drone will also be made in the USA. Parrot will be partnering with Neotech to manufacture the drones within a US supply chain. Neotech have over 40 years of heritage in electronics manufacturing, specialising in high reliability programs, primarily in the aerospace and defence industry, medical products and high-tech industrial markets. Now, the poorly titled press briefings from Parrot suggest they're looking to maximise on potentially positive PR which a US-produced drone could bring them, suggesting that the publicly available version of the drone could be US built as well. Indeed, Parrot have now installed all software developed by the company into Neotech's facility, ensuring high IP protection, but also suggesting that a true partnership to facilitate a US built quadcopter. Looking more closely at the press briefing, and the picture itself shows 3 camera points. Looking again at the coverage from DroneXL, you can see these do match up with the picture of the camera on the prototype drones. Looking at the lens setup, it seems Parrot are opting for an almost smartphone setup, where multiple lenses are used to bring about some pretty impressive capabilities, including in this case a rumoured 32 times zoom. Again, comparing the new drone pictures to the existing Anafi, you can see that most every part of the drone has been altered or upgraded, although the new Anafi does seem to keep the overall form factor of its smaller cousin. So who is this drone going to be aimed at? In recent years, we've had many releases from Parrot suggesting they are done with the consumer market, as I stated before, not seeking to compete with DJI over the consumer market anymore. The success in gaining the US government contract suggests a confirmed move away from that market, perhaps meaning the new drone will be a more expensive commercial grade drone suited to mapping and surveying. This would make sense. However, their press briefing materials with inflammatory words towards Chinese manufactured drones and DJI directly suggest there could be a more standard use and therefore price point for the new drone. Or was the publicity merely to take a swipe at the major drone manufacturer who kept them from wider consumer level success? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments what type of Anafi you think this drone will be and who it will be aimed at. Time will tell on this one. Whether it turns out to be a more expensive specialised drone or a high-spec replacement of the existing Anafi, we will of course keep you fully informed of any information as we get it, up to the 30th of June press briefing. To make sure you hear all about this and other drone news and tech content, subscribe to Geeksvana, and to get the latest drone news first, hit the notification bell. Regular viewers will also have noticed that we are now offering channel memberships. You can click the join button below this video to find out about the exclusive perks available to members, including bespoke emojis, avatars and more. One of the perks of our Geek Level and Vana Army memberships is to have a shout out in one of our videos each month. Today, I would like to give a big shout out to Jay Santiago. There's a link in the description to Jay's channel. Mr. and Mrs. Santiago are big supporters of the drone community and have supported Geeksvana from a very early stage. Thank you, Jay. I really appreciate all of your support. The video you can see here is taken from one of Jay's videos taken at Ocean City, New Jersey. Thank you as well to all of our members and subscribers. You all make this channel possible and allow me to bring you even better content. See you in the next video.
Please remember to like and subscribe.